Team play is very important when doing 3 versus 3 in Halo Wars 2, and so for the first time on this channel, we're going to provide an additional perspective so you can get a better understanding of aggressive team play in this match. Now let's go over the matchup. In the red team, Triple G93 playing as Anders as the color yellow, DC Longshot as Isabel playing as the color red, Iceman Queen Rex playing as Atriox as the color orange, and on the blue team we have ourselves Dom Wolf 270 playing as Anders as dark blue, Blood Magic 86 playing as Cutter who will be light blue, and World is Mine 215 playing as Johnson who is the color green. Now we have a Jackrabbit that is stealing the resources of the power on our side. We did try to use the Marine to attack the Sentinel to then attack the Jackrabbit, but that Jackrabbit will be able to get away with that success that it was able to obtain from us. We're going to continue our resource production here in order to grab a mini base to follow that supply depot that we went, so then we can go ahead and start worrying about production afterwards once that comes to it. And our teammate over here is starting to get some resources around the map still as well, with a small engagement with the Marines happening by the power node. Does look like a grunt will be on their way to go ahead and attack those Marines at that section while he starts transitioning over to the right hand side to get those supply and power. That Marine will be taken out, at least it looks like it's going to be pushed back. Now we got this right hand side, which is a Marine and a Jackrabbit. This is not really a fair fight for red, but it looks like they're going to go ahead and start popping the hologram in order to start distracting the Marines that are there to start hitting the hologram ones instead of the real ones, so then the real ones can continue to do damage and work on the Marines. It does look like they're doing a magnificent job for that. And meanwhile, we do have a scout that's coming in from the enemy with that green Jackrabbit we saw earlier, so they're going to know exactly what our build order is. But red has been able to push back that Jackrabbit with great micro and using that hologram for the distraction. As you can see, one hologram was destroyed in that situation, and that Jackrabbit does look like it is not going to be coming back to get those resources. Speaking of Jackrabbit, green has now shown up to get that remaining scout on our team, and so there's a couple things to look out for. We are all going hero, which means we're trying to play somewhat aggressive in the early game, but for UNSC, myself and Longshot are going barracks alongside our hero as well. Therefore, power nodes are going to be very important. We want to make sure we remake the power that we're going to be spending early in this game. We're also going to try and stop expansion bases by being extremely aggressive with both hero and a bunch of infantry to back up that army. And thus, if we're able to go ahead and hold on to this lead in the early game, we can go ahead and expand earlier than what is recommended and be able to get ahead in the economy game for when that transition to mid game ends up occurring. And with all the heroes out and about now, we can now start focusing on taking the enemy nodes and center node at the same time if possible. Light blue is at center, which is why orange pinged, and it does look like dark blue is actually going to get themselves an expansion base. Red does ping to let us know, so that is an area of interest. Meanwhile, I'm going to go ahead and be checking if there is an expansion base being set up on the left hand side, and there has not. A bunch of Marines are now showing up at center. We got ourselves a Spartan Slam, which is a great one that gets about 4 Marines, with the Hellbringers coming in for the flank on those reinforcement Marines by light blue. We're going to follow that army through and try and take out as much of them as possible while we go ahead and work on that expansion base. Light blue comes in with the slam, but we popped our own restoration drone, but the enemy now popped their restoration drone as well. Who is going to out heal who? We do have Atriox to help ourselves out, so we are going to be ahead in the damage department. Even though our restoration drone does come down, it does look like we end up winning this battle. And because of this, we can now hit the expansion base that just finished right in front of us. Meanwhile, we are going to have a two-prong attack coming in, hitting dark blue's expansion base and light blue's expansion base at the same time. And because of this, we have this nice side by side that was shown right there while we now focus down on light blue. Because dark blue is going to be able to take out that base, there is no contention that is happening on that side whatsoever. And we have Johnson that has now shown up to try and go after that power node on the left hand side, while orange continues to work on taking out light blue's expansion base. So Johnson has been able to push me back, but now they're going to go ahead and see if they can defend light blue's base, but there's no shot of that happening. So I'm going to check if there's an expansion base that's going to be happening by green. Wow, a huge push is now going to get ready to happen up the center between orange and yellow. Jackrabbits are now coming in. Atriox is doing a great work, great Spartan slam that is coming down to go ahead and stun the Johnson. And because of that, he's going to get eliminated right away. And it does look like now the Jackrabbits are going to start heading over to light blue to see if they can go ahead and punish, because there are not many turrets there set up. Hologram does get popped. There are some Marines and a hero by dark blue, but this is a lot for them to deal with. And light blue ends up leaving the game because of this, and dark blue also ends up leaving the game because of this. Now that means there's only one more enemy left, which will be green. So we're going to go ahead and gather all our armies together to go ahead and take green out in one go. Green wants to stay in this one-man army, this last ditch hurrah effort. They have some turrets, they probably have digging in deep, but we're going to drop in our arc swarm, and we're going to now get tech 2. Not like we're going to need that transition, but just for practice we're going to work on that nevertheless. Hero does come out by the Johnson. It does look like a Mac is going to get ready to be dropped here, and it's going to be dropped on the turret with an infantry, and because of that, 2 kills were set up, so he got awarded the lovely double kill for at least taking that out. That's right, I am going to go ahead and count that turret as a kill nevertheless. Restoration drone does come in, but that's really going to heal our army while there's just a single Johnson in that bunker with 2 extra Marines. Doesn't look like there is much left for green as the base continues to go in absolute shambles. Stun does come down on the bunker to go ahead and put that stun on them to make sure they don't fire back at us. But there's just so much of us. There's not really much that green can go ahead and do about it. They're making some additional Marines, but the base is already at halfway point. So it's only a matter of time, and there it goes. Green ends up self-destructing the base, which ends up leaving us with the victory that you end up seeing here. With that being said, if you enjoyed this, feel free to leave a like and subscribe. I have been putting a lot more effort into the editing, so please let me know what you think. Stat-wise, we dominated, especially on my end, with the efficiency of our units. So with that being said, enjoy the rest of your day, evening, or afternoon. I'll catch you in the next video.